God. Hopefully we're live from Linux this time. If not, we'll find out. Just have to share the live stream. If that is the case. Right, let me just refresh this maybe. No, apparently that's not how it works. Sounds good. Off to a great start, obviously. Let's go to my channel. And there we are. Okay, so I just need to grab the share link, that's all. And share, copy. Yeah, just bear with me. I don't usually use this piece of software to stream from, so it's a bit unfamiliar. Let me just get up the chat, and we can get on with a little live stream from Linux. So hopefully I've got some cool points. Although I'm on the most baby version of Linux. Hello, Mado. How you doing? Good to see you again. Oops. Let's get up the top chat. So hopefully I've gone up with like I've got some extra cool points today because we are on Linux. Let me know if the audio sounds good, stuff like that. Because I won't I can't import my Windows settings, so we're all doing it live, figuring out as we go. Anyway, so of the past couple of days, I haven't been able to work on the actual coding as much because I have had another project in the works. That's out the way now, so we can continue on. Which means I might be a bit slow today because I haven't prepped as much. I've literally messed around for 15 minutes before the stream. Well, messed around. Done a bit of looking at my code and stuff. And I decided, because I haven't done it in a while, we should try and get things running on Linux. Now, this could be something that takes 3 hours to fix. This could be something that works instantly. I don't know. I haven't actually ran this code on Linux since the update to. It's not too long ago, but since our major update where we fixed the frame rate, I don't think I've got it running on Linux since. So yes, this could be instantly like everything could work immediately. But if that's the case, what we'll end up doing is we'll just stick with Linux. We're just going to develop on Linux today. And let's just say that Linux works completely fine, which I'll test in a minute. We're going to work on the player, trying to get the player's position working, and trying to do it in a way where I don't completely destroy the frame rate. So yeah, it's one of those things where we're trying to make sure that we're not breaking the frame rate. It's trying to make sure that we're not. We've got a player that moves correctly, and I think what I might do as well is move some of the shaders from the way they're doing their view projection calculation is maybe suboptimal. I might move the view projection multiplication to the shaders themselves rather than doing it on the CPU once, because I feel like there is a lag between the two. But if the multiplication is done on the shader, then that multiplication I think is quite fresh. What I mean is like so there's like a lag. When I say lag, I mean like Sup, don't know if you remember me. Yes. But I started making my own game engine in C++ as well. Fantastic, dude. Yes. Yes, I do actually. Hope you're having a great day, Lip. Of course, everything will work fine. So we're gonna dig around and see. Thanks for turning up. By the way, we're gonna see literally gonna see what's happened. I have no idea. This could be a really crunchy session where we have to look at stack traces and assembly code, or we just end up, I don't know, chilling. Anyway, so I need to, before we begin, just make sure everything's here. Yeah, you'll have to let us know, by the way, how your C++ game engine goes, by the way. If you're in our community anyway, yeah, feel free to post. It's always motivating to see someone talk about what they've been up to as well. So yeah, we're already up to date, which I think I did just before the stream. I'm going to do a clean transfer within GitLab. The thing I forgot to do, though, is I forgot to change over the... You know, we modified the textures on Windows, so the top and the bottom part of the skybox are rotated the right way. I forgot to import that change over to Linux, so even if everything does work, I might just try and fix that as well. Hopefully it's really trivial. But it might be a bit, because I don't have access to Paint here. I don't exactly know what the Paint tools are. So I don't know if I'll leave that. If it's a bit complicated, I'll leave it, because it's just going to take me a restart. In fact, I might be able to nab them, because I can probably just... While it's doing that, let's see if I can go into my user directory, go into my thing, and let's just see if I could drag them off without any copy protection. Don't know. I literally have no idea if this is going to work, because all I care about are the actual textures we worked out. Nope. Yeah, no, it's build. Yeah, build assets, textures. So yeah, I do want these. Yeah, so we might end up with some copy protection issue here because we're on a different file system altogether. So we need to go back to our documents, git void, and I'll put it in build for now because that's actually where it needs to be. Let's just make sure this is done. Yeah, okay, it's done. And paste. Place to all. Replace. Cool. That looks, yeah, looks like we're good. Don't worry, we are with you. Fantastic. Love that. Appreciate the positivity. Right, so let's go into our build directory and run our game. No, we need to build it first. Yes, that wouldn't be very good. So first task is getting things to compile. So this is going to take a minute because we have to rebuild the physics library, which, because of how the C++ is with the physics library, it's a bit slower to compile individual translation units than our engines, though. Yeah. So yeah, fortunately Jolt's code has no warnings, which is absolutely fantastic. Because this is someone else's library. I've actually got a license separate from my own, which I don't really have a license, to be honest. In my engine telling other people that the Jolt's library license is something, whatever it is. It's basically free to use, I think. As long as you don't. What I'm doing, because I'm open source, I'm pretty protected with licenses when it comes to software. There's not really that much anyone can do. Because, you know, as long as I'm not publishing copyrighted source code that isn't public in the first place, then I think I'm chill. Let's say like PhysX, I don't know if that's closed source, but if it was closed source and I published it on my GitHub, that wouldn't be good. So apart from that, I think generally if you're an open source developer, you're pretty chill. You don't have to worry too much about licenses. So, but I put that there just in case. Right, 49. I might also look into how running multiple threads when we compile. Every license has every library has a license attached to it, though. Yeah. It's just because I'm open source, I don't really have to sweat about it. You know, because if you're an I don't know. let's just say you're Microsoft making some software, and then you accidentally include a library that's GLP. Not G. Is it GLP? I think GLP, yeah. And then you get sued because you need to then open source your whole platform because you used one GLP piece of software, one GLP library, which has happened to companies. They Linksys, I think, got sued because they used like one component that was GLP and they had to open source the whole thing. VMA, yeah, VMA is MIT, which is fine, yeah. Yeah, there's a more aggressive one. I can't remember the one where you have to open source your software if you use it, whatever that is. I think it's GLP. There's GLP lesser and then GLP like regular or something. It's been a while, but yeah, my company was really concerned with this. Okay, so we actually built. We have some warnings. Just stuff that's often used but not defined. I don't really care about these warnings at all. Unused variable. I've tried to remove this. It just does not compile with it. But I might try again. It might have been a different issue. Because unused functions are fine. Unused variables are a bit suspect, but they're not too much of a big deal. These warnings. They're not like why are you accessing a null pointer? And I do not understand this error. Internal linkage issue. I've looked it up, but still don't understand it. I don't know what it's talking about. Either way, let's run it. See what happens, eh? Yeah, that's it. GNU public license. That's the one. That's the big one. Okay, so let's look. Let's turn everything up. What? Okay, so these are the two ducks that I fire off in a random direction. Okay, that makes more sense. So when I move forward, this moves forward. I wonder what happens if I crash into this. Ooh. Oh, it's so small. I have no depth perception. So we got it all working. So now we're just going to develop stuff on Linux. Oh, what is this? Interesting. Has it gone to sleep? So we've actually lost we're actually a little bit slower because of the player thing. But the first thing we need to fix is the rotation. Whoops. And because otherwise it's really difficult to see. I might for now increase the lighting, just to not go to black. Just for my own sanity, to be honest. We have to ignore this because this is something that comes out of SDL. I've tried to get rid of it. The other thing we could try is just I don't know, just for fun really, is see if I can get rid of that show cursor, hide cursor issue. Because I'm interested. I just want to try something real quick. This is like just so people can understand what I'm going on about. If I run the game. Yeah, hi Ratchet. I didn't say hi. How you doing, dude? You see my mouse is still there? Like, let's see if we can actually hide it. No matter what I do, it's still there. So, because it is, I can't really release a video game on Linux without that being fixed. I've just been putting it off because there's lots of different things I need to do, and that's just one of them. So let's tackle it. Yeah, I hope everyone's having a great day. By the way, I haven't tried it. Yeah, that's I reminded myself of it because someone was talking about my mouse sensitivity, and yeah, let's where is input? Oh, it's in the application code. So close this, physics, application. Windows. Yeah, because what I think might be happening is the show cursor might just be like permanently showing it. And I don't think this even works on Windows anyway, so I'm just kind of curious if I just make sure this never happens and see if how that affects things. Let's see. No, it's still there. I don't know if it's because it starts in that position, but it's really... Yeah, I don't know. Okay. You could do some image-based lighting from using the Skybox. That would work well for ambient lighting. Image-based lighting. Another hacky solution is to set the cursor to alpha. Image-based lighting. Have I ever done that before? Image-based lighting. Okay, let's do one thing at a time. Let's try this cursor thing, and then we'll come back to like image-based lighting, because I think I know what you mean. It's the where you add that reflection in, that reflection value based on the cube map. I think I could be wrong. But that would be actually yeah. If I could do that, that would actually be really sick. Because now we actually have a cube map that we can actually do something with. We can sample on it. Then that means we could probably get the data. But anyway, yeah, so this is going to be like looking at SDL documentation for a minute, because I just think, let's try it, you know. But yeah, success on Linux. Linux just works fine for once. SDL, okay, interesting. I'll look that up because that is something I might want to do. Okay, SDL. Interesting. It's taking a while to load. Might be a dud website, that one. Okay, so what is this mask? Right, masks value for each pixel. Oh, the color value, interesting. And it's U in 8 pointer. So most significant bits. The cursor is created black and white according to the following. Okay. So if I set data to 0, like null. Okay, let's have a look. What's this code example? Oh, I think the data actually has to be 0, not null. I don't think that makes sense. Is it per pixel or something? What is it? This is the confusing part. What is this? Height, width, number of colors per pixel. Okay. What is that used for? I was just gonna go set 0 to be honest, but interesting. So we can set the cursor to be transparent. Surely there's a way that makes this easier. I mean, I can try that, don't get me wrong. SDL cursor. Okay, so what did this thing say? Yeah, because this is, although like almost nothing to do with the Vulkan, it is important that there is consistency across the operating systems. So hopefully everyone's okay with in the process of trying to create an invisible cursor, I discovered that the cursor with surface using does not support alpha transparency. Okay, so let's just see what happens. I don't exactly know if this is going to be relevant in the slightest, but or if we need to reuse the pointer or something. So it takes in these arguments, which I think we can just throw up here. I don't think, because we have no autocomplete, there's just no. So I'm kind of curious if null PTR say width divided by 2 and something like that, like middle of the screen. Yo, just now getting to my PT. Are you trying to get it to work with both X and Wayland? That really doesn't feel relevant. That looks like the API for custom cursors. Yeah, I was just wondering if I can get the custom cursors to be nothing. If that makes sense. Yes, effectively, if I can get... I don't mind if I don't get X. But if I can get, like, Wayland. Because I'm on Wayland at the moment, so... But it's super weird. I don't know the Linux programming paradigms very well. Because apparently it's like super weird. This is something I don't understand about Linux. It's like, when I looked it up online, it said like, oh, yeah, we do this for security reasons. And I'm like, what? I don't understand. Okay, so let's just see what that does, right? Like, we can't make the cursor invisible because someone might hack you or something. Which, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Nope. Yeah, it's probably custom cursor then. What's up? How you doing, dude? Oh, Phoenix, how you doing? Good to see you, my man. Yeah, it is so hacky this way. X11 is more like X66-7, sure. X67. I should have stopped. I don't know why I kept going with that. Yeah, hopefully you're having a great day, Phoenix. Wayland has some weird stuff with OXF all the way being a valid swap chain extent. Yeah, it's yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to do it via SDL because in theory SDL, in my opinion, right? Well, in theory SDL can do this, but it's got to be able to done because it's not like all games on Linux don't do this. And you know, Proton and Wine both hide your cursor, so I mean, I'm not super dedicated to this, if that makes sense. So if we end up like being stuck on this for like half an hour, I probably will move on and just say it's a research project. Transparent on Linux. I don't know. Let's just Google something. Yeah, it's just saying this. I mean, I could try. Oops, my bad. Bring this back and then kind of set the data to just be 0. So like data uint32, because I'm assuming it's all pixels. Is equal to cursor data. And I'll just pass that in as the mask as well, because apparently you need both. And obviously it needs to be a reference, because we're... I hope this doesn't need to be, like, modified or anything outside of this. But we'll see. We might get a dangling pointer or some kind of weird crash. If it's writing out this data. Or worse, we won't get anything. When are you calling hide cursor? Alright, I'm just going to do that then. I'm usually calling this... I have to turn it on and off based on if you're pressing the left mouse button. So even if... I've done this before where you put hide cursor here. I'll show you guys in a minute, but I'll comment this out for now just in case it conflicts with what we just did. Yep. And if I... Right, I'll just throw this in. Oh, didn't save. Oh, Detri, how you doing? I didn't ask how your day's going. Oh, look at that. It now worked. Okay, I'm a liar. Liar, pants on fire. I said this didn't work, and it does. Completely. I think what might not work is this idea. But that might be like a really nice way of just... Right. Let's get rid of this for a minute. Oops, didn't close the game. No. What? I do not understand what's happened. I swear this didn't work at one point. I mean, I've updated Linux since then. Is it possible? Do you think it's my... Right, I'm just going to throw this out there. Back when I tried this originally, my graphics driver was completely destroyed. It just didn't work. So my graphics driver, I had to use the open... What is it called? I don't know, the Open Nouveau NVIDIA drivers. But now, because I've reinstalled Linux, I'm able to use the actual base Linux drivers, sorry, the NVIDIA ones. It's interesting as a base driver. Okay, and maybe that's the difference, because that's the only... I mean, I've obviously updated Linux, but it's not like I've updated it to a completely new operating system. And it wasn't that long ago. Regardless, I think this is I'm just going to take my win where I've got him. And I don't even have to hide cursor now. I can just do it, I think. Get rid of this as well. Yeah, I was working with the open source drivers. I thought you had capture mouse as well. I do well, I have this like relative mouse thing. I have to do this like strange set of 3 commands to get the difference delta between the mouse movement. So if you like swing your mouse, then like it will go and then that gives us the difference between how far we've moved. They aren't the best quality right now. Interesting. I didn't know what the state of the open source drivers are in. Okay, that's good to know. I've never had good experience with non-proprietary drivers on Linux, sadly. I guess me too. I can chalk myself up to that. The only reason I never Oops. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so this is just a straight up. I'm just going to add this straight up. Sorry, while I type. The only reason I went with the open source drivers, like I said, is because I completely destroyed my installation process and broke the installation process for NVIDIA drivers so badly that they wouldn't install ever. They just kept giving me like an error on just before they finished installing, like right at the end. And then eventually I nuked my drivers so badly that I couldn't. I just got a black screen. I didn't get a TTY. I didn't get anything. I just got a black screen. So I had to reinstall the operating system. And that was me trying to install NVIDIA drivers like a monkey, basically. Anyway, cleaned up the invisible cursor. So that's good. On Linux. So yes, it is probably, I would guess, a driver thing. Nice. Okay, that's really cool. Next. Funny thing, I was never able to get backlit working properly on Linux. Weird double GPU setup shenanigans. Oh, okay. Yeah, jeez. Can't imagine what that's like. I mean, I'm not even going to try and get my other graphics cards working anymore. It's not supported, which is, you know, kind of annoying, but it's still in there for a reason. It was there to test, like, older... What am I doing? Sorry, I'm a bit all over the place. Right, got that done. Very good. And that's not something I would have expected the driver to be honest. That's kind of interesting. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, I have a 1070 in my computer. I was assuming that I could just use that to say like, oh, this is like the baseline recommended, and then like my graphics card will be like, you know, like what the typical gamer uses, and like the minimum gamer use would be the 1070. But on Linux, it just like does not want to work. So I don't know what to do about that, to be honest. Just because the drivers aren't supported anymore. Anyway, right. Next thing is to figure out how the positioning works in Jolt, so we can actually move the player relative to our camera offset. So we did do a bit of this on Linux, and I had this thought, right, where when we do effectively a set rotation or whatever, this is really important in the sense that when we get out the data from the physics engine to like put it on the GPU or whatever, this is actually what gets affected. The physics engine tells us what this or that's going to be when it comes to oh, this is a bit quiet. This I'm just going to turn up a bit because it's a bit quiet on me. Hopefully that's not too loud. Again, it's a completely different setup. But anyway, so like for example, if I say do this multiplication, it doesn't seem to affect it at all, because it's like all internal to the physics engine, which is a bit odd. So anyway, so we're going to try and do things through the physics engine and see if we can, like for example, we need the offset values changing based on our rotation and displacement of the camera and stuff. And yeah, it's a bit of a like where the position actually is. I'm pretty sure the 1070 is what I was using when GTA 5 came out on PC over a decade ago. Damn. Yeah, pretty much. I'm the same situation, to be honest. I have a laptop. So there's an integrated GPU and a dedicated one, of course, right? That's a standard setup. but the integrated GPU handles display on the screen or something. Yeah, weird. That's so strange. So you have like you have like a GPU that's, a GPU that only does graphics, and like the other GPU does display. Wow. So that must be annoying for like transferring commands over to a different barrier. Interesting. I wasn't repulsed by that. I was just kind of interesting. GZO is, wow, PC 2014. Jeez. Yeah. Right. Okay. So this doesn't work at all. We can see this because the translation isn't offset. But my question is, what is actually getting offset here? Because it is a bit up in the air at this point. So I'm just going to disable this and see how that ball works, right? So this is updating the shaders. It was 2015, I guess. I had something else at the time. Don't remember what though. Damn. Well, no, that's a common thing. Oops, I'm not in the build directory. On laptops, the dedicated uses and the integrated one used for display in such a setup. Interesting. I suppose I've kind of abandoned my laptop when it comes to getting this to run, because I've got like Intel drivers that, you know, they're a bit old. Alright, so when I move the camera, so this is moving with me still. That looks horrendous, to be honest. Don't know why that's happening. You see that? You see that? Like artifacting? What might be happening here is we've got like an out of bounds memory read or something. Oh, I know what's happening. Okay. I think... Right, if I disable this, I think we'll stop getting movement. The integrated one can do graphics independently, because the dedicated one needs more power. So more power equals less battery life. I do that. Weird. Interesting. Oh, okay, you see it, yeah. That's good that you see it too. That's good to know. Yeah, thanks for filling me in on that, Ratchet. Because I will eventually, get some kind of I need to get my hands on an AMD chip, graphics card. So it might be a laptop or something. I don't know yet, because I only have an NVIDIA right now. Okay. Why are you only updating? Why? What is going on? I'm so confused. Oh, it's everywhere. Look. Huh. Okay, so this is something I might want to try and fix anyway, because I'm kind of curious. I think that might be a inconsistency with the view projection matrix. I noticed that. I'll show you something I saw in the shaders, which is kind of interesting. So for the skybox shader, not on stream, but instead of doing this multiplication here, I decided to do this. I hope it comes up. View projection perspective. So I was like, oh, I can save a multiplication on the GPU, considering we've already done it. But when I did this, hopefully it shows up. Yeah, we got a completely different. Okay, not what I wanted to happen, but oh, I know. Sorry, let me fix that. There is a reason why that didn't work. Excuse me for a moment. This was quite. Yes, I need to do basically this. I haven't done that yet. So, but this will take no time at all. Map for test equals this. So I know it's not permanent. And then we just go 3 and 1 equals 0. And then Control D. Nope. Very okay. That's very strange. Maybe it's Control Shift D, but I don't know. 1, 2, 3, and the last one is 1 because homogeneous. So anyway, and then we use test here. Okay. All right. So run. So it should run. You see the skybox? See what it's doing? It's like behind my actual camera. It's like it's not moving fast enough, or it's moving too fast or something. I don't exactly know. So what I'm going to try and do is move all the view projection calculations to be multiplied in the shader where they're actually used. Because I think there's some kind of delay here. It looks very weird. Yeah. Oh, I appreciate that, Matt Day, actually, there. I might give you that. Yeah, it is trippy, isn't it? Yeah, I don't exactly know what is going on, but I think it's literally because they've... Well, the only difference literally is because I'm doing not 2 multiplications versus 1 multiplication, and this is just getting... And I'm just getting this from the CPU, which I think is falling behind, and I think it's because our frames in flight might be out of sync, if that makes sense. So let's just say, I don't know, the GPU's on frame 6 and the CPU's on frame 4. Like the multiplication, I think, might be like behind by quite a bit. It looks cool, to be honest. So yeah, you don't need ray tracing to watch a video or browse the internet. True. It's you're not wrong there with the battery life and stuff and how the GPUs work. So yeah, we're gonna see if we can get rid of some artifacting. That it might be air quotes correct. I don't actually know what is current view. I'm doing the same thing twice here. I don't need this really if I'm going to use this. And you do the project. I've literally blanked which way is the multiplication now, is it? So it's already here, so I can access it. We just need to do this. Actually, we can just look at this. What was it? Okay, yeah, so project is first. I nearly put it second, but I think I was going to put it first. We all know that matrices aren't commutative, so anyway, let's get rid of that error. Oops. The GPU can't be ahead of the CPU. This GPU? Oh, it's behind. Yeah, sorry. That's. Yeah, I don't know what I was talking about. Yeah, like I said, excuse me. You're gonna have to be a bit patient with me today. I've been out of the. I haven't prepped. I'm a bit out of it. Been working on other shit. Is that just me or is it still moving? Weird. Yeah, I had a feeling I'd be a bit slower today. But we're rolling with it. Anyway, so we're just basically gonna do that on the other shaders. So when they get the data, it's a bit fresh for them, not fresh for the CPU. So project, this is the longest multiplication of my life. X view. Literally, this is like a super long multiplication now. I'll copy that actually, and then we'll put this in the debug renderer. Just make sure everything's got the same. Okay. Let's make that See if it, so they both compile, which is lovely. And let's see. I don't think. Hopefully, we just don't see anything and less artifacting issues. Yes, maybe. Hang on. We are running like a ridiculous frames per second, so there might be some weird glitches because of that. What I'm interested in is this. What is going on here? I think it might be the depth here. Why? The intensity's... What? This looks different on Windows. That looks very different on Windows. Okay, so... Yeah, we can worry about that later. Ooh, I've lost everything. Well, nothing's broken, so I think I'm going to keep that anyway. Because we can... Alright, I'm just going to restart. I think it looks... This might be... a copium. But it seems to be better. Oh, I'm an idiot. I just realized why this ball is moving. Duh. This ball is moving because, yes, the duck is moving, which is supposed to be the player, but the collision geometry is still moving completely fine. Yeah. Idiot. Are we looping? I don't think we are. I know we are. Okay. Just we've been on Dynasty Warriors 3 music for a minute. No complaints though. It's kind of cool at the moment. Where is the player moving? Oh, I see. Okay, so that makes sense, I guess. What I don't understand is what. So this is getting model data from the entity. Where is this getting updated from? So the collision sphere is moving, but I don't think it should be. This is the thing about this physics engine is a bit. It's not like bad or anything. It's just it's a bit confusing. Ah, okay. So we update the position. That's it. Okay, so we update the position of this particular entity. It doesn't get updated in the regular models, but the debug geometry does, and then it just renders what it's been told to render based on the position. Which, okay, that makes sense. So it's basically this code that's causing that to happen. And if I were to do that, we should just get nothing moving. I'm only doing this so I can make sense of things. So we'll run. Because at some point we've got a, so there should be a ball that isn't moving. Yeah, okay, great. Because I want to do it based on the view matrix. I think that's going to be, yeah. So these two balls have been set to move based on a force, but the actual duck that they're representing is actually over here. It also shows how bright this point light is. It's a bit too much, I think. So I'm going to turn that down because it's just, because the radius is so big, it's also like affecting. I don't really like that at all. I think that's why it's like making the rocks look weird. As well. Let me yeah. So I think the radius is fine, like how big it is. We also need to do a spotlight at some point because the this would be like, this is a perfect example of like a spotlight rather than a point light. But anyway, And we might do that image lighting in a minute as well. Well, we'll look into it first. See how to do it. Anyway, fragment shader. Is it fragment shader? Where is it? Fragment shader. We also, oh yeah, there's so many things I need to do. I was thinking about this yesterday. And yeah, lots and lots of things to learn, lots of things to do. But we do our best. We just keep going. So yeah, light intensity is like too much. I think the light range is fine. So we'll test that out. Oops. Because what we can do as well with the view projection, if we're going to have to use the view projection, so I've got to check if any of the rocks get... Oh, I'm so slow. What are the frame rates? I feel like it's higher on Linux. Yeah, that's the problem. It has to get so close to the rock for it to light up at all. Even though the range is huge. I mean, I could literally just make the range massive, like that big, like too big, basically. We obviously need a different type of light. I'm not going to deny that. We need more lighting calculations. We need more graphics. This is like a really hacky thing that I'm doing. Where's the closest rock? Looks like space going in. I literally can't see anything. Yeah, just going to bear with me for a minute. And almost there. Almost there. Do you like my game, by the way? The slowest space travel game of all time. Realistic space travel. No, it's still doing the same thing where it's like, yeah. So yeah, we need different lighting right now. I might leave it as a crappy light just for now, just so I can see it bad and I can like have motivation to fix it. Okay. Right. Player movement. Let's go back to that. Yeah, so I'm going to look up that because I'm kind of interested. I just want to see what the fragment shader calculations would be. Because I'm kind of interested to help with the lighting situation. Maybe we can just throw in some vector calculations in and call it a day with something. Because that would be cool, because we do actually use the texture. The texture is accessible on every shader because it's bound to a bindless set of... Isn't really... bindless is such a bad word for this, but yeah, the bindless textures are all basically on one descriptor set, which we can just easily bind. Including 3D, cube, 2D, and images, but they're on a slightly different descriptor set. They're not on the exact same descriptor set. Images, raw images without samplers are on a different descriptor set. So anyway, now I've said that out loud. This might be just a quick fragment shader implementation. So yeah, image-based lighting using the skybox. Let's see how that looks. No, I was just looking at the chat, that's why I got really close to the mic. Using a skybox, let's see. Let's see, GLSL maybe? Or something. Like, the problem is we're going to get like 20 different... oops. What have we got then? I don't really need reflection. What I'm looking for is I'll read all the maths if we're going to do this for real, but I just want to make sure that we're actually going to get the thing that we're actually going to be able to implement the thing that we want. You know what I mean? So I think this is physically based rendering, based on everything I'm reading here. But skybox texture. Okay, so. So there is some skybox thing here. So okay, so this seems quite good. Interesting. Okay. Yep. But where's the... Yeah, this is the actual physically based rendering. Okay, I think this is what we want. Uniform, then it takes... What I'm looking for is the... Oh, here's the skybox. Okay, I think... Yeah. Okay, so that's the... Okay. So we might be a bit in our head here because my graphics theory is a bit weak, admittedly. But you know, that's part of the point of streaming, is to learn as well. You know, I would typically do prep off stream, but like this. But you know, it is. I think it's also interesting to see, like, how do you go about learning this stuff, right? Because I know some people ask that type of question, like how do I learn Vulkan or whatever. You know, so I'm just like you guys, you know. I try to, no matter how impressed I get with myself, I always remind myself I'm still a beginner. And I think I'll remind myself of that for the rest of my life. Anyway, so now I've said all that. Do I want to chew through this? That is the question. Because effectively, also what I do is just raise the light level based on the image that we have. Let's have a look at this, just in case this is what it wants me to do instead. Okay, that's how you implement a skybox. Yeah, learn open. Yeah, okay, so that's the actual skybox. Now rendering the sampled environment map over the previously rendered spheres. Looks something like, yeah, okay, so that's... So that, I believe, is cube map. I'll have to read this in a minute, but... Is this what we want to do? Right. Okay, there is a scroll bar. Cool. Sorry, I'm being a bit quiet. I'm just trying to figure out how... Oh, I've lost the chat. It's bring you back. Okay, cool. I'm just trying to figure out if this is what I'm gonna be doing for the rest of the day. We didn't learn this in university. Yeah, it's... This is pretty niche. This is a pretty niche application of maths, but it's like... This stuff is like... If you walked into a graphics programming environment, this is probably what you'd expect. Assuming... It depends on the obviously the place, but... This stuff is physically based rendering type stuff. And this is like anything on Learn OpenGL, like everyone assumes that you know if you're like a professional. I would assume. Actually, I don't know, but it's not like I've talked to professionals and been like, well, do you expect everyone to know everything on Learn OpenGL? But my imagination is that although this is complicated, this is still... What I'm trying to say is, what I'm trying to communicate is that even if you look at all the maths and go, oh, what's this mean? Like this is, yeah, considered. All right. Like, yeah, university level stuff. But so if you were professional, you should be above that, if that makes sense. Yeah. I took up to Math 6. I'm not sure what that means, but I don't know if you did. Did you do calculus or something? I actually have not taught myself calculus yet. I'm on the maths grind, don't get me wrong, gang. But you can learn this on the fly as well. You don't actually have to do the maths. So let me pull my notebook over. And I'm gonna kind of break into this and just see how relevant we're doing, what we're going to be doing, because I do need to get better at this as well. This is also important. All right, so hopefully you're there with me. I will obviously communicate with chat and stuff, so I'm reading this out loud. Okay, so image-based lighting, IBL. That is literally what we're doing. Cool. I'm a mechanical major. I see, interesting. Yeah. Okay, so IBL, or image-based lighting, is a collection of techniques to light objects not directly by analytical lights, as in the previous chapter, but by treating the surrounding environment as one big light source. Sounds great. In fact, I think also, if you're here for it, I'm also going to start making notes in graphics theory in Obsidian. This is super important that I do eventually learn this. And it's just been a bit of a struggle over the past couple of days to do other things. So let me just... why is it saying it's not spelled right? Whatever. Anyway, oh, sorry. Mechatronics. Mechatronics. Ah, what's mechatronics? I actually don't know. All right, so I don't know how long we're going to stick at this, but I'm just going to play it by ear. Yeah, I hope we're all chilling with this. So yeah, I will post this in chat as well, just so people are aware. Learn OpenGL is a super good theory. It's like mostly the beginning stuff is mostly OpenGL specific. Let me just show you. So if you're actually going to use this site, like it'll teach you how to do stuff in OpenGL. But like we've just seen, like creating a window is going to be very OpenGL specific. Like we've just seen in this chapter, it's like it gets really nitty gritty into the, and it's free as well, into the graphics theory stuff. So it's like a really good resource for Vulkan programmers as well. Assuming that you've already got a Vulkan renderer up and running, this won't help you with like, oh, I've got a validation error. What do I need to do? But for like, if you want to learn about image-based lighting, like IBL, then this is like a fantastic resource. So I'll post this in the. Actually, can I do that? Actually, let me do it on my laptop because I've got OBS open. I don't know how OBS works. But you can just type learn OpenGL, but I'll post it anyway. Yeah, I literally no idea how this website works. Tool. So yeah, anyway. So yeah, it's a fantastic resource for this type of stuff. Yeah, I've got my notepad open for the actual maths that we're going to be doing. Anyway, enough rambling. Yeah, I need to get better at this. Anyway, image-based lighting is a collection of techniques. That deal with lighting. So what I'm going to do is I write things up. This is how I take notes. I read things and then write up a different version of what I've just read, skipping stuff that I don't actually need to know. That translation from my words, their words into my words, is like how the learning, it's how I personally go through learning. It's quite slow, but sometimes you need to learn something well versus learning a lot of different things badly. So we're going to learn the big basics of this really well and then see if we're actually going to use it. Anyway, so yeah. That deals with lighting outside of point lights. This is what I think I understand. And other stuff. And ray tracing. It treats the environment like a big light. Nice. Sick. Hi, Kali. How you doing, dude? Hopefully you're with me on a bit of a study session. How's your C++ going? I know you've been learning that. Hopefully you're exploring new topics that are exciting for you. We're just going through this Learn OpenGL website right now, and we're going to be doing some image-based lighting study. So anyway, this is generally accomplished. Sorry, I'm reading the website now. This is generally accomplished by manipulating a cube map environment taken from a real world or generated from a 3D scene, such that we can directly use it in our lighting equations, treating each cube map texel as a light emitter. I see. So we are basically taking our cube map texture and using each texel as a light emitter. All right, cool. This can be efficiently captured. This way, we can efficiently capture an environment's global lighting and general feel, giving objects a better sense of belonging to the environment. Yep, that's good. Makes things look brighter and brighter and like they belong to the environment, I guess. Oh my god. Typo central. Swig. So this seems pretty cool. Doing good. How about you? Yeah, I'm pretty chill. I was a bit tired before. I feel like I've been grinding like a nutcase recently, so Study goes slowly, trying to understand a topic well before moving on to the next one. Fantastic. Hello, Prestige. All right, how you doing, dude? Good to see you. Hello. What's that? This that is the physically based rendering algorithm that we're going to be trying to understand today. With extra image-based lighting based on the environment, so it's going to be cool. I'm with you, Kalia. I'm trying to understand this slowly, so this is going to be a bit of a study sesh. This is on Learn OpenGL. The link is above in the chat if you wanted to have a look yourself, but I'll be reading as well. Okay, so as image, I'm reading from the site now. As image-based lighting algorithms capture the light of some global environments, its import is considered a more precise form of ambient lighting. Interesting. Even crude approximations of global illumination. I see, okay. This makes image-based lighting interesting for physically based rendering, as objects look significantly more physically accurate when we take in the environment's lighting into account. Okay. Sure. Okay. So image-based lighting is typically more accurate than even some global illumination stuff. Nice. I'll just copy that over. And especially ambient lighting, because that's what I was going to do. I was actually going to do ambient lighting until someone said about until Ratchet said about image-based lighting. Yeah. Okay. So starting introduce the image-based lighting into our physically based rendering system. Let's again look at a quick look at the reflectance equation. So this is actually what I've written in the fragment shader, just for people who are curious. So if you ever actually look at my fragment shader and my source code, this is what it's doing. This part is getting the materials, and then around here we figure out the direction of the light, and then about here downwards we do this integration. So we actually do all this. So we get the DFG, and then we divide by all this direction versus what we're looking at, all that kind of stuff, and you can see this here. So yeah, it's pretty difficult to get right, honestly. It's one of these things where you can make a simple mistake and it breaks in a weird way. But anyway, I just thought I would talk about that so you're not that intimidated, I guess. Anyway, I wonder if I can copy this into my... Ooh, what was that? Show as maths. What's that mean? Math language. Oh yeah, Obsidian uses math jacks. Oh. Can I get the math jacks? But oh, bro. I want the latex. Give me the latex. Oh, stop. Why are you being awkward? Okay, so add original notation form. What is this? I want to yeah, okay, so I think that will work in here. No, I've got to do, like, give me a minute to work this out. And then, yeah. Yeah, okay, that's what I need to do. Okay, so we just need the latex surrounded by $2 signs. Thank you for putting up with that. There you go. If you didn't know, that's how you do it. Okay, so we can start to introduce the physically based rendering with IBL. If we look at the physically based rendering equation, oops. All right, cool. Okay, as described before, our main goal is to solve the integral of all incoming light directions. I'm just going to say it's WI over the hemisphere theta, I think that is, but it's capital theta. Let me just check. I don't want to read this out loud consistently, so omega, okay. Omega, of course. Over the hemisphere omega. Alright. So omega, let's see how does this work inlined. $1 is inlined. Yeah, okay, cool. I just wanted to check that. So is to do the integral over all lighting directions and the over the hemisphere and that will be capital omega. See if I can do this without looking it up. No, I can't remember. What? Oh, it's backslash, forgot. Alright, so that's his capital omega. Not I. Should be good. Alright. Solving the integral in the previous chapter was easy, as we know beforehand the exact few light directions. So that's little omega. That contributes to the integral. This time, however, every incoming light direction from omega I from the surrounding environment could potentially give us some radiance, making it less trivial to solve the integral. This makes this gives us two main requirements for solving the integral. Okay, so because yes, that's right. That's right, Maddo. Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing. Because we need to consider every light direction. Solving the integral is non-trivial. Okay, I'm like super want to learn this now. This is super motivating. Unlike when you know which all the direction light is coming in. Cool, sound. So we need to do these two tasks to simplify our calculations. All right. Oops. Graphics is so cool. Oh my goodness. If we can spell simplify, that would be nice though. Oops. Oh my god. Alright, cool. Alright, one. We need some way to retrieve the scene radiance to give us any direction. Okay, so first task is to grab all the scene radiance from scene radiance given. Oh, sorry, I read that wrong. Scene radiance given any direction vector, and this is backslash omega I. Swag. We are swagging. Solving the integral needs to be fast. Yes. It's fast, of course. Yeah, we're not doing anything offline. Okay, now the first requirement is relatively easy. We already hinted it. Sorry, what? Now the first requirement is quite easy. Now already hinted it. But one way of representing an environment scene irradiance is in the form of a processed environment cube map. Fantastic. Look at that. That's like actually quite easy because we've already done this. If you already have a process cube map, this gets easier to work out. So we might be able to just throw in a vector and just let it go, let it rip, which would be kind of sick because we already have the vector. We just need to sample over it to get the radiance vector out, which is right there. So that means we just need to interesting WI. So whatever their WI is how it samples over the actual cube map itself. Cool. Okay, this is actually easier than I thought. But I'm still not going to run into it yet because I don't exactly know what WI is. But one way of representing the environment scene irradiance is in the form of a process cube map. Yes, sounds good. Given such a cube map, we can visualize every texel on the cube map as one single emitting light source by sampling this cube map with any direction vector omega w, wi. Oh my goodness, omega I. We retrieve the scene's radiance from that direction. Okay, so given we can visualize every texel. And for those who don't know, a texel is just a textured pixel. Oh, did I say something else? Yes, my bad. You can visualize every texel of a cube map as one single emitting light source. I'm going to copy that directly just because that's important I get that right. By sampling this cube map, which with the direction vector W. I see. Okay, so our direction vector is already in this equation anyway, so we just need to sample based on that. based on the PBR equation we can sample over a cube map and get out the scene's radiance based from that direction. Okay, so it's WI. I'm kind of curious now. If I look at my shaders, based on what I've just learned, what is my WI in this case? What is my direction? Direction, that's the distance for a light source. So these are all floats. Where's my and what would be, hang on, let me just look over my because if we could do that, we can just sample over the texture and then we have the radiance vector that we need for this. Any vector with no W. I think it's this. The V vector, which is the direction we're facing. So we have the I. That's the way we're facing. Is that what we're sampling over? If I look at the equation again. So it's whatever this second multiplied by n is. So when I'm actually doing the division right at the end, when I'm doing the mix, what am I? Oh, get off that. So that's the metalness, that's the mix, that's the intensity. What is our W? Omega. In the equivalent. Because then we need to add the radiance vector in. Give me a minute. So we look at this. So our D, where's our D? So that's the G. Sorry, I'm being a bit quiet. I'm just trying to work out how this maps. Okay, I think we can very easily figure this out if we just look for a 4, right? I think... Is this literally just our position? I think it is. I think if we sample over based on the position, because that gives us the distance. I think it is our position vector. And then we can sample over our cube map with our position vector. Then we get the radiance, and then we can do some. Then we can finish the radiance calculation. I think that's what's going on here. Because this is then used in the division later on. I think we're just doing some algebra here to simplify the equation. I think, anyway. Isn't the textured skybox directional vector? The directional... we need to... When you send... So I'm not sure how, I know you're learning Vulkan, so I don't know if you learned OpenGL before, but so I'll explain what we're talking about here. So when we send it up, I'll just go like back to what sampling means. So forgive me if you already know this. So when we send up a texture to the GPU, we send the image, but we also have to figure out, okay, based on where that image pixel lives, what's the actual point on that. For example, let's just say we look at the let's see, if I run the game, this will make more sense. And I'll just go to a rock. If it's got, oh, this duck or whatever, this is fine. So this has a texture wrapped around it, right? But we need to figure out, based on where this wrapping is, like what the individual pixel is here and here and this on this eye. So we have to sample over it. Because the texture is just a 2D image that just kind of looks like a big flattened out duck. So when we actually put it on this, we sample over it with a sampler, and that we sample over that with texture coordinates, and that's the texels that we have. When we have a skybox like we have here, this is a cube texture, and because it's a 3D object instead of a 2D object like this texture here, we would sample over this with just two coordinates, like an X and a Y, because it's the texture is 2D. We sample over this with three coordinates. So this is still just a bunch of images that are just wrapped around a cube, but then we sample over it based on like this individual pixel, this individual pixel, this individual pixel, based on the three coordinates, so X, Y, Z, because we can spin around and see it in 3 dimensions basically. Sorry, it's on a cube and we have to sample over it in 3D. This allows for the effect where the skybox stays on the player at all times. That's like that's what we were struggling with for the past couple of streams, was figuring out how to sample over a 3D or a cube texture and keep the player still. So yeah, it's a bit tricky to understand, but it's like once you've done it, it's not as bad as it sounds. Like sampling over something, like literally in the actual code itself, this is as simple as it is. You have the texture position, you have the texture you're referencing, and the texture coordinates for that particular pixel. Remember, the fragment shader is ran per pixel, so it tells us. So we're running this per pixel and we're going, okay, what's the actual pixel value based on the 2D coordinates of, and the 2D coordinates might be of the texture, I don't know. Let's just see. Let's say brick texture or something, I don't know. Free brick texture. So for example, if we look at the, not video. For example, if we have this, it's like, oh, the pixel shader that we're on like samples this one, but like the next pixel might sample over here. The next pixel might sample over here based on the coordinates. The next pixel might sample over here. And we just have to move around the pixels as we draw and sample over different parts of the texture to actually build up something that has like a 2D texture that wraps around a 3D image, like we did earlier with this duck. Oh no, it's disappeared because it's so dark. So what we're trying to do here, wow, what the hell? Sorry, I'm just looking at this. That looks horrendous. Let me just give me a minute. I just want to figure out why this is completely going nuts. What the hell? It's like there's a glitch or something. You're like, I'm breaking out of Matrix. That is actually showing me. I know what that is. That's what the UV. That's the individual vertices of a sphere. What on earth are you doing? Why are you so displaced? Why is each vertex so displaced when we move the camera? Like, there's a big lag between like some vertices and other vertices. What? But like not all of them? Maybe I should... I don't know. This is really strange. I've only seen this on Linux, so... This is clearly a difference between... Oh, hang on, look. It's happening everywhere. Oh, that looks horrendous. Oh, and I see the skybox is doing the same thing. What? Sorry if that looks horrendous. So what is the WI? What direction vector? I think it's the position. Isn't X, Y, Z of any 2 points? Isn't the XY of any 2 points? XYZ, sorry. I think it's literally just the direction that we're facing. I think that's all that is. I mean, I can look at it again, but sorry, I got a bit distracted by that horrendousness. It's like everything's blurry as well. What is happening? Is it getting worse, or is it literally because I clicked off and on again? Can I make it crash or something if I do this like crazy? No, not really. What caused this? Oh, okay, so the swap chain's broken. What? So what the hell? Is that just happening all the time now? Why? This worked fine earlier. Well, I haven't changed anything, have I? The antivirus. Yeah, the world's falling apart because the antivirus has got out. Yeah, let me look a bit. So I know I'm being a bit distracted here instead of studying, but let me let's go back to the music. Ugh. Okay, yes, we are watching. Let's do a git stash because I haven't done it. Well, no, I did. I pushed code earlier, didn't I? Yeah, let's do a git. Let's do a git stash for a minute. Make all. Oops, sorry. Run game. Just see if we haven't broken anything. Okay, yeah, so something we did caused like a huge breakdown in the graphics. I mean, it's still weird, but it's not as bad. You see that? I think yeah, we just saw an extreme version of this. Let me just turn off this for a minute. Is it happening on the non-geometry? Like, ugh, okay, let me move down a bit. It's kind of awkward to do it like that. I don't see any glitchiness with the non-debug geometry. But it's also happening to the skybox. Let me think. Why would that happen? don't know. So yeah, it's not as exaggerated now, but let's bring it back. I don't understand. It's like the geometry's not stable. Yeah. I don't think we have an out of bounds buffer read. Let me think. What will cause this? It's still there. Can you see it? I don't know if anyone else can see it because it might be updating so quickly that the screen recorder might not be catching it. I have noticed that. Like I have said on Discord, so when I was just streaming this to someone, they couldn't see it. They couldn't see what I was seeing with the tearing in the skybox. Like there was some seams coming through, like some white seams. But I can definitely see that there's like 100% like glitchiness. And it's only for some reason on the cube. Sorry, on the sphere. Like maybe I need like a low poly sphere or something. Like I don't know. Very strange. Yeah, maybe this like piece of geometry is just not good. Like it's really awkward the way it's like constructed this. Like all I did is I went into Blender and just make sphere. But I think there's like a better way of doing spheres, because everything kind of comes to a point. I think like around here, and I don't think it's very good. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, the red spheres. Yeah, so it is visible on camera on stream. Because they're weird. Well, I might look back into this and just be like, okay, this is worse. I have to test this on Windows as well because it's possible that it's just not updating. And it only happens in movement. So it's only happening in the because it's not the fragments header is so simple. It's only happening in movement, so this is a vertex shader issue. Oh, can you see it in the cube map? Yeah. Yeah, if you can see some whiteness in the cube map, it means it's happening in the cube map as well. Because the back clear color is white. For that exact reason, so I can actually see if there's something wrong with the cube map. Strange. I don't know. So it's definitely something to do with the vertices themselves. What I might do is like disable, hang on. If I go into the debug pipeline and change it to wireframe, we might be able to see more what's happening. Because if I turn on wireframe mode, we should be able to see the actual individual lines and see if they're like moving around. Or it's something else. Skybox, debug. So if I think it's turned this to true. This should be wireframe. Haven't done this in ages, so I think, unless I've changed something. Yeah, it could be the update loop. You could be right, actually. What I'll do is I'll disable the physics after this and see if that changes things. So, yeah, ignore. It's supposed to be. We're supposed to be able to see through the sphere. It's supposed to be able to like be wireframe version. But you can see what the OpenGL. Sorry, you can see what Vulkan's trying to do when it's trying to construct the So let's get really close. So you can see like it's not clean in the way it's drawn its wireframe view. But as far as I can tell, I can't see it moving outside of me moving. We get really close. So I'm just going to move the camera around. So this is going to be, the closer I get, the more exaggerated the movement gets for the wire itself. But I think that's just normal. I don't see any like spazzing about basically. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for like a jump out in a noticeable direction because we're so close. It should be very dramatic. What the heck? Oh. Was that just it getting lighter? Oh, you see that? Yeah, it's happening, but it's just happening. It's less visible because it's not happening on the. Yeah, it's clipping through this. Weird. It's very subtle when it's on wireframe mode. Hello, YipTag. How you doing, dude? You have collapsed to a point which, yeah, I don't think it likes that. Yeah, if I can probably get a better sphere, but I don't know if it's true for like other geometry. I might be able to just, I might be tempted to try and render a square, right? Even if we don't end up using it. A square. I mean, a cube. What we're doing, YipTag, just so you're aware, we've got some weird rendering issues with the debug. Geometry, and it's broken in a very strange way, which I don't understand. Yeah, it's just it's very subtle with the wireframe view, and we're suspecting it's the way that the geometry's been constructed in my loader / in Blender / how it's triangulated it in the driver and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't know. It's very strange that it's only happening on this driver. I don't really understand why. I mean, it's not that much of a big deal if it's not happening on the actual geometry. I mean, obviously it's bad, but ugh, this is what happens when the point light is too bright. But there is no, well, that's a lie actually, because it is happening on the cube map as well. When it gets really bad, the cube map starts to separate from itself, and we're like updating vertices like behind each other. You know what it might be? It might be frames in flight getting mixed up. I think that's what happens when you see vertices in different positions. It's because the frames in flight get mixed up. I think that might be it. So it might be the way I'm handling some kind of synchronization. I think it's another synchronization bug actually. Because if we see, like, if we display half a frame, not half a frame, but if you present a frame that's like ahead, and then we present a frame that's behind, and then we present a frame that's 2 frames ahead now, because of the behind frame, we're gonna get like things drifting in and out. So I think we've just uncovered another synchronization bug I need to fix. And I can't exactly say if that's the semaphores, the pipeline barriers, or the fences. But yeah, I think this is a subtle synchronization issue, which is causing us to display frames out of sequence. Hopefully that makes sense, but I think that's what's happened here. and it gets for some reason it gets worse if you like click off and click on it again. And I think that's because the synchronization, basically the swap chain or whatever is just not the way I'm doing synchronization with the swap chain is, and the presentation engine is not playing nice. And I think it's worse on Linux, but I would guess we're getting a similar but way subtler version on Windows, and it's just that's what the case is, right? In my head, anyway. I can't exactly prove that to be the case, but I've seen that before, where someone's shown what synchronization issues look like, where it basically looked like where the spheres were like separating. It looks like that. That's what synchronization errors look like, where we've drawn a bit in one place and a bit in another place. So yeah, I think there's another synchronization bug, but it's subtler than the other ones, which is awkward because they're going to be harder to fix. All right, I'm pretty satisfied with that. What I could rule it out and just like draw a cube, but I don't think it's the actual geometry. Although I think part of the reason why that triangle point exists in the wireframe mode, by the way, is because it has to be a string list to actually represent the wire view. Meaning that all the lines have to connect, and I think OpenGL, I keep saying OpenGL, because Vulkan has to figure out where the lines need to connect, and I don't think it's not doing it in an efficient way because of the order which it's been given the vertices. Yeah, okay, so I think we've got a general synchronization bug that's way more visible in Linux than it is in Windows, but I would suspect I need to be very careful, but I need to look at things in Windows, I think, very closely. Okay, we can have a quick look at synchronization, but let's see. No, this is too high up in the file. Where's the synchronization code? Synchronization. No, this is just, I think it's still too high. I could just search a new frame, can't I? Instead of scrolling around aimlessly. Okay, so like it could be as subtle mistake as this. This is just to give you an idea, right? We wait for the fence, we reset the fence, then we acquire the image. It's possible, right? The actual correct way of doing this is this way around. You wait for the fence, acquire, then reset. Now, I'm just going to show you this because that's been in that position before. I'll give you an idea why synchronization is a pain to figure out. Because let's just say I made a mistake and that's wrong. Everything works, right? It works until it doesn't work and then it breaks. Well, we're not resetting the fence at the right time, and so everything, like, we get ahead of the frame instead of whatever. I don't see the issue anymore, but I don't trust myself. Oh, that's how close the player is. Jeez. I don't know why the player's position is not going into this sphere. What I'm looking for is, oh, there it is. There's the skybox breaking down. It's like weird. It breaks like different places. I wonder if things start to get out of sequence, the longer we're in the game. So the synchronization mistakes get worse and worse as time goes on. Maybe. I mean, I can see it in the skybox, but oh, it's gone now. But I saw it earlier. Yeah, you see the skybox is moving weird. The stars are not. This is very awkward to even remotely try. But the stars down there are moving weird. All right. Easy fix. No, unfortunately, I don't think that's it. I wish it was. But it looks more stable, admittedly, I have to admit. There's less weirdness now. But that's the nature of synchronization. Like if you make a mistake in synchronization, you might just get undefined behavior that works and it works 99% of the time until it breaks. And that break will happen in a weird place. But I'm willing to bet that we've improved the situation, but not fixed it. Because it does look better, I have to admit. Let's go full screen. Yeah, but the skybox is still tearing. No, I can see it. We're still. Oops. I still think it's improved, don't get me wrong, but ugh. Tricky. Ah, thank you. Thank you as you hope you're having a great day, dude. Yeah, we're just debugging the spheres. The spheres are all rendering weird. And I think there's some synchronization issues that are causing like splitting to happen, where we render part of a frame ahead of another frame and they kind of collide, and we get some weird jutteringness and the skybox is tearing. Yeah, weird synchronization. Is the skybox on a different graphics pipeline? Yes, it is. But I don't see what... They're exactly the same setup, honestly. Did I even... Oh, I didn't even flip it back. I didn't even save. So everything I just said was a big lie. So we actually saw the same code twice. And we assumed it was better. Which is... This is just the nature of synchronization. Whoa, my bad. Is this and the skybox? Yes, they're all on different graphics pipelines. You know what it could be? Sorry, I'm being a bit. We're not using the skybox. We're not using the push constants on the skybox or the debug geometry in the fragment shader. That could be it. We could be push. I think it's still synchronization now, but like the synchronization. What I mean by that is I decided not to add all the push constants data here because it seemed to work, but I suspect that's probably a bad idea. Because the air quotes just worked on my computer. As a famous last words to that. It just worked on my computer. And it blows up. The problem is you have to add like these things that are never going to be used. I don't know why I'm doing that. Let's just copy and paste. from here. Let's copy the whole data, right? Because maybe adding just like dummy data is just a terrible idea as well. So Steve, and vertex. Okay, so we need these. Because I'm just thinking like what data could be pushed to the GPU that causes an issue like that. So we grab this, and we're just going to put this everywhere. So what is in the debug fragment shader? See, oh, none of it exists there. So if you just get everything kind of the same. Oh, I need to fix that as well. Even if we're not using the data, because the reason I'm doing this is because the pointers and the push constants need to be offset by the correct amount. Because they're not. This is the bottom-most push constant pointer, and we might end up in a situation where we offset by the wrong amount, we get to the wrong pointer in data, and then we just read it from the wrong location. And then if we're reading from the wrong location, then anything's off. But I don't exactly know, so yeah, I'm just doing this for more safety. Let's do this here. And the push constants, need that as well. And put that there. Even if we don't use it, I think it still needs to exist. I mean, I could be wrong here, but like I said, my GLSL knowledge isn't the best. It's definitely not the strongest. Okay, so okay, so we use both, so that's fine. Okay, so we're going to leave them the same. Okay, just grab them. Alright. Oops. Why did that do that? That's not what I wanted to do at all. I want to copy this. Thank you. Let's see. 1 minute. What am I doing? Sorry, I'm trying to figure out exactly where I need to go to. There we go. Paste. Alright, so we'll just compile, make sure our shaders are not broken. We made a mistake in line 32 of core shader. We probably don't have the structs, so let's grab them. Oh, we don't have the push constants? Line 22, sorry, I probably made a mistake. Line 22. Oh, no, we don't have these. Ugh. I'm going to try and get away with... trying to think. No, it's fine. It's just an extension. It's not like the end of the world. So we're going to need that everywhere now. There's basically an extension here for two different types of three things. Okay, so buffer reference is there. Get buffer reference 2. And copy save. That's going to be an issue here too. Save and buffer reference 2. Should be good. That should make everything work. Well, it'll get rid of one mistake at least. Oh, scalar block layout. We don't have that in the debug thing. Scalar block layout in the debug fragment shader. Okay, make all. Did I save? Yep. Unexpected. Fragment shader. What is it saying? It's saying line 30 to 35. Oh, it doesn't have scene data. Okay. Let's bring the scene data in. Maybe it. Gotta go for now. I have a great one. Subbing. Oh, thank you so much. Positive. Or Phoenix, I think you. Oh, there you go. Thank you very much. Sorry, I'm getting a bit tired. I might end myself. I might end soon myself. Unexpected identifier on line 42. Alright, so same deal. It needs the go up. Yeah, thanks for anyone who has subbed and liked the stream and even commented. Honestly, it's talking to me is really helpful. It really helps me out. Even if I'm explaining something that's not part of the problem, it helps me think. Like even talking about what I was talking about earlier with the sampling of textures, because it was nice to remind myself that the fragment shader happens per pixel, and that makes more sense based on the integration that we're doing. So honestly, it's very much appreciated. Anyone who does participate, even just viewing, is also cool. Okay. Yeah, see you, man. Have a good day. Yeah, until I... Sorry, I'm gonna go a bit crazy here. Not because I can see anything, but just because I want to move things around very quickly for a minute and then look by subtly changing. It's like we've moved a lot now. Can you still figure out what's going on? That's my question. No, I don't see any tearing. Oh, no, there it is. So that didn't help. So I just saw some tearing in the skybox. If you go off, on, click, F5, F5. You see it? You see the yeah, it's definitely due to synchronization. When something is happening when we're dealing with reconstructing the swap chain, my reconstruction of the swap chain is wrong, and it gets worse and worse. We fall out of sync, and we start rendering things at different points in time. When yeah, okay. So at least I know. Yeah, it's still there. I still know. What I can at least do is remove everything I've just done, which I didn't really like doing anyway. Yeah, I didn't really want to do that, so that's actually positive in a way, because it just makes the shaders like massively bloated. I just had to test that, but now I know it got worse when I resized the window, meaning that the frame it's the way I'm handling swap chain recreation. Okay. Oh, and the synchronization setup that needs to happen on those things. So yeah. I am getting sleepy. Let's see, what can I do next? I think let me just think for a minute, and I'll let me just think. So we want to do IBL, but we've also got to fix the swap chain recreation. I think that's more of a pressing issue. I think what I'm going to do... Okay, so the order of attack is swap chain recreation. How bad is it on Windows? How bad is it on Linux? It's bad on Linux. It gets worse and worse and worse until the window crashes. And I don't exactly know why, but it's possible. It's definitely some synchronization issues. Fix the player position. That is definitely up there. But I think I want to do this image-based lighting thing based on the cube map. Not because it's going to make everything look prettier, but everything is so dark right now. It's hard to navigate the level. And if I can just increase the ambient lighting of the environment based on the skybox, assuming that I might get a lighter skybox as well, then the game gets a little bit more visually distinct than the player position. I think that's the order which I need to fix things in. Yeah. So yeah, I will do that. I'm gonna share my Discord real quick. For those who are watching who are new, we do have a Discord. You can join. Just be chill, and anyone at any level is allowed to join. I'm going to call it here because I need to do a lot of research with the live stream. And that's fine. I'm just getting a little tired, so I need to like take a, splash my face with water and then come back to this. Because there's more issues coming into this than I realized. And I think it is to do... I've got to figure out swap chain recreation now. And then study IBL and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm going to leave it here. I hope everyone's had a... Yeah. I'm gonna leave it here, and I hope... yeah, I just read that. But if the swap chain is corrupt, fixing that before IBL makes sense, yeah. And say thank you all for watching. Thanks for all tuning in. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend and you get some nice rest. And I hope I have educated or at least entertained someone. Appreciate you all. Good luck with your own engines and stuff. And I shall see you all soon. All right then. See you later, gang. Bye. Bye, Maddo.